What's up, BC? Mike here. I'm just gonna do a quick video. I just got home from work. I made a stop at a record shop today that I go to every so often, and over the weekend, he happened to pick up a bunch of really good jazz stuff, a lot of original pressings, hard to find, rare records. I got a handful of them. There were, I think, about six or seven. I would have loved to grab more, but they weren't they weren't $5 or $6 records. They were still less than, I guess, what they were going for on the internet. But there were still a couple of them were $40. Some were 15, that sort of thing. So I'll just quickly go through them because I really want to listen to them. Some of them I've never actually listened to. I've just read about them. So I'm just gonna fly through these. But before that, I just wanted to show you three records that have been in heavy rotation at my place. I got them within the last month or so, and they're amazing. So if you guys get a chance, one is Sam Rivers, Crystals. It's on ABC Records. I guess it's sort of like free jazz orchestra stuff. But really good. This has been on my list for a very long time, but it wasn't until I watched one of Derek's videos, Derek Higgins, and Derek, he spoke very highly about this album, so I figured I would search it out a bit more heavily, and I happened to find a guy on the internet who had one, great condition. So I grabbed it, and man, it's amazing. The first time I listened to it, I got it one day. Didn't have a chance to listen to it until nighttime. Baby sleeping, so I put on my headphones and just chilled, laid back, and listened to it. And it's amazing, man. Like it blew my mind. I haven't been so blown away by an album in a long time. I wish I got it sooner. Um, Along the same lines as the Benny Maupin album, Julian Priester, Love Love. It's sort of similar, pretty cool synth work in here on the album. Um, what else can I say? It's sort of like, I hate making comparisons, but if you I guess it's pretty close to Miles Davis in a silent way, like that sort of spacey jazz, if that makes sense. So now to my scores for today. First on the list, Ornette Coleman on tenor, mono pressing from 1962, I think. I might be wrong, but it's on the Purple Atlantic Deep Groove. Super stoked about that. I've never actually. This is my first. I think it's my first Atlantic original pressing. Definitely my first Atlantic mono pressing. And as you can see, it's mint. It's great condition. No ring wear, any of that. Next is Archie Shepp, Mama Too Tight, amazing record. This is a Impulse mono first pressing. However, unfortunately, it's on the Spartan. I shouldn't say unfortunately. I guess it's kind of fortunate for me because it's cheaper, more affordable. It's on Spartan Impulse, which is Spartan was the Canadian distributor for Impulse. back in the day. Sound quality is just as good. For some reason, they're not as pricey. It's a great Archie Shepp album. Again, another mono. This is the Jazz Composers Orchestra. With Roswell Rudd. It's on the Jazz Composer Orchestra Records label. This one is not too uncommon. I think this was $10 or $15 or something, which is pretty good for this store. Next is, I'm excited about this one, Paul Bley Quintet with Marshall Allen, Dewey Johnson, Eddie Gomez, of course, Paul Bley, Milford Graves. It's on the ESP label, I believe. Again, original pressing from the 60s, I think 65 or 66. It's mint, there's like not even a mark on this thing. I was really surprised walking in there because they usually have, I don't really, this record store is in a suburban area. They don't really have, for jazz, he has a great rock collection and, the average regular stuff. When it comes to jazz, he has the, pretty standard stuff like the Everyday Miles Davis albums, Kind of Blue and Dave Brubeck and stuff like that. So never really anything too exciting. Which is why I don't go there often, but this is actually the first time in a few years that I've gone there and have been excited about records. Next is another one I'm super excited about, John Coltrane, Sonship. Gatefold, first pressing on Impulse from 1971, I think. Might be wrong. I don't know. I didn't do great research on these yet. Like I said, I just got them, so I might be wrong with some of the info that I'm saying. So if you know better than I do, please feel free to leave comments. This one I've never seen. I'm excited to listen to it. I dropped it, and dropped it in the store, and it was pretty good from what I heard. Roswell Rudd, Everywhere. It's another original Impulse gatefold, and it's pretty cool. There's a signature here. A little note. It says, "Dear Donna, best to you always. Deepest thanks for your generous support, Roswell Rudd." That's pretty cool. If my name was Donna, it'd be even cooler, but unfortunately, it's not. But I like these. I like messages like that. Aside from it being his autograph, which is pretty cool, I like when records have little personal messages. It sort of gives you a sense of the history of where the record has been and that sort of shit. Again, a cool Impulse label. Roswell Rudd, I guess, is one of the people at the front of free jazz. He's a trombonist. Really good record. So I'm just going through this. And another cool thing with the record is that it had a photograph. This is a genuine photograph. Oh, I didn't notice this before. It's photographed by Marilyn Rudd, 1968. I guess Marilyn is his spouse. It's a genuine photograph, which is cool, and it's also autographed again. Dear Donna, peace and best wishes. Pretty cool. I think I may frame this. I like it. Okay, just give me a second to put this away. Next, super excited about these two. This is extremely rare, hard to find. Cecil Taylor, live at the Café Montmartre, excuse my French, with Jimmy Lyons and Arthur Murray on drums, Jimmy Lyons on sax. So not only is this record rare, even more rare is the year before it came out in the US and North America, it was released on Debut Records, which was a record label from Denmark. So this is actually an original pressing from Denmark, which was at the time an import, and then a year later it was released in the US, I believe, on Fantasy Records. Again, awesome condition. Sorry, it's a little tight, man. Don't want to rip it. Don't want to rip it in front of everyone. How embarrassing would that be? Anyways, I'm gonna get rid of this ratty paper inner anyways. Cecil Taylor. Recorded in Copenhagen, November 23rd, 1962. And last but not least, another one that I'm ridiculously excited about. I've never seen this in person. I've only heard a couple of tracks on it, but I know it's ridiculously rare. Nomo by Milford Graves and Don Pullen on SRP, which was an independent label that the two of them actually started, I believe. Self-representing, I forgot what it stands for. Anyways, really cool. Hard to find. SRP Records. It's in concert at Yale University. 67. And something really cool about this is I'm assuming that these were all hand typed, but there's a typed message. One from Don Pullen and one from Milford Graves, talking about the record marks the second in a series to be released by SRP, an organization of self-reliant musicians and artists. Amazing. You can tell it was hand typed because there are a few errors that they've sort of typed over. If you remember what it's like using a typewriter, they're a bitch. The music that we are involved in is a spontaneously improvised music. It is the product of feeling and creative mind. Pretty awesome. Anyways, that's it. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to send me comments.